Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Full Court Press. I am your host, Drew Duncan. Do not forget that Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram is all at Drew Duncan83. Of course, you can also find me on YouTube. Simply look for Drew Duncan. And, of course, the Full Court Press is on Facebook and Instagram as well. So Nate Diaz recently did an interview with ESPN. And he said that the reason that he hasn't had a fight in 2 years is because after the McGregor fight, the UFC disrespected him. Folks, I want to tell you the last time this man with a 19-11 record had a fight. You ready for this? It was August 20th of 2016. Damn near 3 years ago was the last time Nate Diaz had a fight. And all he's done since then is follow around Conor McGregor and try to mimic his every move. You know, in this interview, Nate Diaz actually came out and said the words, well, they were giving McGregor everything he wanted, and they gave him an easy title fight, and then they gave him another title fight, and then they let him fight Mayweather, and then they let him fight Khabib. And I'm like, first of all, what's easy about a title fight? There's a such thing as an easy title fight out there? This was not a vacant title. This was something that McGregor took from another man. Twice. In two different weight classes. McGregor's been trying to get a third fight with Conor McGregor since the last fight ended. And Nate Diaz has been running around and still maintains it in this last interview that he beat Conor McGregor in that last fight. Now, aside from the fact that Nate Diaz looked like he got mauled by a tiger after that fight was over, I think failed to realize that he was beat. I don't want to say he was dominated, but he was beat. I felt it was 3-2, maybe 4-1, but he was beat. Did I like McGregor kind of walking around the octagon the way he did at certain points, kind of saving his breath? I mean, I was 50-50 on it. There was a part of me that didn't like it. And they do have rules to that, by the way. Rules that are established of you are allowed to kind of give yourself a breath in the octagon during a round. However, you are not allowed to just walk around and mind your time at a certain point. The official either says, are you wanting to give? Or he's, what do we need to do here? Do we need to stop the fight? At that point, the official becomes in charge if it's too much. And McGregor, obviously, knowing that rule and understanding that balance, played into that. And regardless of that last fight that he had with McGregor, McGregor has not had an easy road. McGregor fought what is in the mind of many, or who is in the mind of many, Floyd Mayweather to be the best scientific boxer that we've ever seen ever in the history of boxing. There are people that believe that. And you can't argue the record of being undefeated. Sure, not all of us like the fact that Mayweather didn't take this fight and that fight, but that's not really the topic of discussion here. The point of the matter is McGregor fought one of the greatest fighters of all time in his league, or in his specific sport is how I should word that. 2 different belts in 2 different weight classes. Took his first fight with Nate Diaz on short notice, by the way, after the other fighter had to back out of that fight with McGregor. And then when McGregor had a full camp, he did exactly what he said he was going to do with a full camp, and that was beat Nate Diaz. Now, McGregor did get beat by Khabib. Flat out dominated, as a matter of fact. When was that an easy fight? Isn't Khabib undefeated? Isn't Khabib worldwide recognized as one of the best wrestlers and maybe even all-around fighters in all of MMA? I projected Khabib was going to win that fight. And I'm a diehard McGregor fan. I didn't think McGregor had what it took to beat a Khabib, and I thought Khabib was actually in McGregor's head, and there was no getting into Khabib's head. And he was ready for McGregor every step of the way, something that Nate Diaz was not. Nate Diaz is 19-11. Does he really think he deserves title shots? Look, I don't take away the guts from anybody who has what it takes to climb inside that cage. I've covered MMA for a long time now. I've been very fortunate to talk to a who's who in MMA: Royce Gracie, Art Davey, Amanda Nunes, Matt Brown, Cub Swanson. I've been very fortunate in that regard. And seeing these fights up close, I'm going to tell you right now, it takes serious guts to get in that octagon. Which bothers me, knowing that, as a fighter, how dismissive Nate Diaz is of Conor McGregor and what he's brought to the sport of UFC. Because let's be honest, Nate Diaz wasn't so long ago, I think it was a few months ago as a matter of fact, that he recently said 185 ? And McGregor responded, you know me, I don't care about the weight. He called him out. Tyrone Woodley called him out. Everybody's calling him out because it's a huge payday for one. I think Nate Diaz needs to really calm down. And I think if Nate Diaz wants a third fight with McGregor and wants to be the first in line in front of everybody with this trilogy that he has been wanting to do from basically the jump, the first time he called McGregor out, said, you're taking everything I work for. I don't know why Nate Diaz takes everything so damn personally. He really does. He takes everything like it's a personal vendetta against him. Dude, when you follow McGregor around, because when McGregor first started doing the boxing thing, what did Nate Diaz do? Oh, he started working on a gym bag. Then reports were coming out that he was trying to get a boxing license out in California. Everything that McGregor does, Nate Diaz tries to do, man. Like, get real. Come on already. Guys, I am Drew Duncan, host of the Full Court Press. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram is all at DrewDuncan83. Don't forget to use the hashtag Don't You Dare Touch That Dial when you share this post. Of course, you can find me on YouTube. Simply look for Drew Duncan. The Full Court Press is on Facebook and Instagram. And as always, don't you dare touch that dial.